Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to Wednesday's Literacy with Ms Harkins. Today is Wednesday, so our focus is writing. We're going to be looking at diamante poems. I hope you all had a great day off yesterday, and we're getting back into it today. The one thing I want to say before we get started is today it would be really good if you could actually do your spelling first. So if you haven't done spelling yet today, I'd like you to jump off now and I'd like you to go and do the spelling lesson. Go and watch Mr. Field and his spelling lesson and do that first and then jump back on and see me. Okay, so we're going to be looking at diamante poems. So our learning intention today, to plan to write an antonym diamante poem. Our success criteria today is I understand that antonyms are words that mean opposite things. I can choose an idea for my poem about two opposite topics. So summer and winter, they're opposites. I can brainstorm adjectives, nouns, and verbs related to my two opposite topics. So I have got today for you, I've got a video of a different teacher who's going to explain diamante poems to you. So I hope you enjoy this video. Just give me a sec to go and get it. Okay.
Hello and welcome to today's poetry lesson. Today we are going to be learning how to write diamante or diamante poems. Let's have a look at what they are. So, what is a diamante poem? A diamante poem is a poem that does not rhyme and has 7 lines. The first and the last lines are the shortest, while the lines in the middle are longer, making it have a diamond shape. That might be a little bit confusing, but we'll go through it more. So, here is a diamante example, as well as all the things we need to include when we're writing a diamante poem. Firstly, diamantes are 7 lines long. The first and last lines have just 1 word, the second and 6th line have 2 words, the third and 5th lines have 3 words, and the 4th line has 4 words. So, looking at an example, you might be wondering, why is there just some of the same words written over and over again? That's because when we are writing these poems, we use different language features for the different lines. The first line is 1 noun. Then we have 2 adjectives. Then we have 3 verbs. Then we have 4 nouns. Then we have 3 verbs. Then we have 2 adjectives. And then to end it all off, we have a noun. Whew, that's a lot to remember. If you need to, I've got links below that go over and describe what adjectives, nouns, and verbs are, just for a little refresher. So, there are 2 types of diamante poems, a synonym and an antonym diamante poem. A synonym means 2 different words that mean the same thing. Now, an antonym means 2 words that mean opposite things. So synonyms are when 2 words mean the same thing, but they are different words. And antonyms are when they are 2 words, but they mean the opposite from each other. I hope you're hanging along with this because you're going to be able to write some amazing poems after this. So here is an example of a synonym diamante poem. So where the 2 words or the 2 ideas mean the same thing. This one is all about my favorite animal, a cat. Let's have a read together. Cat. Playful, naughty. Cuddling, hunting, biting. Treats, wool, toys, laser. Meowing, sleeping, nuzzling. Soft, curious, kitty. Okay, Let's have a look at my synonym diamante poem example. And I've written down the sides which type of words we need to use for each line. So my first line is cat, which is a noun. My second line has two words, which are two adjectives. So I chose two words that describe cats, which is playful and naughty. My third line are verbs. So I chose things that cats do. So that's cuddling, hunting, and biting. My middle line are four nouns. So I chose four nouns that are to do with cats. Treats, wool, because they like to play with wool, toys, and laser, because they love to try and find those little laser lights. Then my fifth line, I chose three verbs that cats like to do. I've got meowing, sleeping, and nuzzling. Then my sixth line, I chose two adjectives to describe the cat, which is soft and curious. And then my last line, which is a noun, I had to choose a synonym that matched the first word. My first word was cat, so a synonym for cat is kitty. All right, I hope this is making a bit more sense. So that is my synonym example. Now we can have a look at what type of synonyms you could use when you're writing your diamante poems. This is some planning that you can do to make sure that you are coming up with words that are different words, but they mean the same thing. So, when writing a diamante synonym poem, we can make a chart with words that mean the same thing. So we've got two words, warmth and heat, which mean the same thing. We've got two words, cold and freezing, which are synonyms because they mean the same thing, but they're different words. We've got walking and strolling. Again, they mean the same thing, but they're different words. And we've got eating and chewing. So you could fill up a whole page of words, of synonyms that are two different words, or three different words, or four different words, or more that all mean the same thing. If you do that, that's going to be really helpful when you write your synonym diamante poem. We did synonyms, now let's do antonyms. And if you remember, antonyms are two words that mean the opposite thing. So our antonym diamante poem are talking about opposite things. When I read it out, you might be able to see that halfway through, the idea of the poem changes. So I'm going to read it out and see if you can spot when it changes. Summer, sweltering, golden. Swimming, sailing, burning. Beach, sunblock, gloves, scarf, snoozing, snuggling, shivering, cool, frosty, winter. Alright, as you can see, I chose two different seasons to talk about, and the ones that are the most opposite to each other are summer and winter. Hopefully you spotted where it changes. Right there in the middle, after sunblock, it starts talking about gloves, thinking, I'm not wearing gloves in summer, so that must be where it changes. So I'm going to go through the antonym example and show you what I've done on each step. For the first one, I have my noun, which is summer. My second one, I have two adjectives to describe summer, which are sweltering and golden. Then I have three verbs that maybe I would do in summer, which is swimming, sailing, burning. Then in the middle, I have four nouns. Two of them are for summer, two of them are for winter. I've got beach, sunblock, gloves, scarf. Then the next line, I have three verbs of what I would be doing in winter, which is snoozing, snuggling, and shivering. Then I have two adjectives that I can use to describe winter, which are cool and frosty. And then I end with an antonym to summer, which is my noun of winter. Whew, it's taking a lot of explaining.
Sorry, boys and girls. Okay. Oops. Now I'm on the wrong side. So, what did we learn about diamante poems? We learned that there are rules for diamante poems like there are for other poems. One of the rules we learned that it was 7 lines long, but I'm sure that lots of you heard the words nouns, adjectives, all of those words that we have spoken about before. So I'm going to go over those really, really quickly for those of you that might have forgotten what those things are. So a noun is the name of a person, animal, place, or thing. So cat, pen, owl, ball, shoe, jam, doll. An adjective or adjective is a word that describes a noun. So an adjective is a word that describes a noun. Green, clever, long, helpful, beautiful. So what does an adjective do? Can you guys tell me? It is a word that describes a noun. The other one that lovely teacher was talking about was the other type of word, part of speech, was verbs. So who can tell me what a verb is? VJ, can you tell me? What about you, Lockie or Kai? Okay, a verb is a doing or an action word. Jog, draw, laugh, cook, work, sing, and play. But you might have noticed in those poems that when we're using a verb, we're using them in the ing format. So it would actually be jogging, drawing, laughing, cooking. We're putting the suffix ing on, which is perfect because you've been looking at doing that in spelling with Mr. Field. So the other thing that lovely teacher was talking about was synonyms and antonyms. So let's just go over those quickly too. So remembering that a synonym or synonyms are words that have the same meaning. So synonyms are words that have the same meaning, like large and big. They mean the same thing. Antonyms are the opposite of that. So they are words that have the opposite meaning. So fast and slow, big, small, hot, cold, those are antonyms. And we're really wanting to look at the antonyms today because they're the type of diamante poems that we're going to be writing. We're going to be writing antonym diamante poems. So here are our different types of diamante poems. So a synonym diamante poem, this type describes just one topic. So monsters and creatures. I'm not going to go into that today very much. It's already been gone through in the video. I'm going to focus on antonym poems. So this type shows the difference between two opposite topics. So this example here is day and night. So those are both nouns, but they are opposites. They are opposite topics. Day and night are opposites. So we're looking at antonym diamante poems today. That's what we're going to be writing first. So let's just go over that again. An antonym diamante poem, this type shows the difference between two opposite topics. So a topic, remembering, is something that you write about. So that could be chocolate and broccoli. They're opposites. Chocolate is a junk food. It is every now and then food. And broccoli is a superfood. It's full of nutrition. So they are opposites. Day, night. So what are opposite topics? What are opposite topics that we can write about? So we have here student and teacher. They're opposites. Summer and winter. They're opposite topics. They're opposite seasons. Pizza and fruit. Pizza's an every now and then food. Fruit is something you need to eat every day. Junk food versus healthy food. day and night. They are opposites, day and night. And this one in the middle, which is one of my favorites, is the beach and snow. They are complete opposites. Why are they opposites? Because at the beach it's nice and hot, at the snow it's freezing cold. At the beach you're in your bathers, at the snow you're in heaps of clothes. They are opposites. They are opposite topics. So what I want you guys to do now is I would like you to go and get your sheet that you need for this lesson, a sharp grey lead, and you need to be somewhere comfortable where you can write. So pause it and off you go, going and getting the things that you need. So you're back. You might have been going, I don't know what I need. So here we go. Now you need to print off this worksheet. So if you hadn't have already done that, you can pause the video. You need to go and print off this worksheet, or if you can't print, because I know heaps of you haven't got printers that are working at the moment, just like my one, you need to go and copy this super neatly into your workbook. These lines should be straight. If you don't have a ruler at home, you can use anything to make a straight line with. This is something that belongs to my husband for his building. I could use that to rule a nice straight line. Okay, so everyone now should have the worksheet, a nice sharp grey lead, because no one out of the 3s and 4s has got their pen license, and you're sitting somewhere nice and comfortable where you're going to be able to write. Okay, the first thing that you need to do is you have to pick what idea you want to write about. What 2 opposite topics would you like to write about? Are you going to write about day and night, cats and dogs, fishing, board games? What 2 opposite topics can you think of that you would like to write about? I'd like you to pause the video now again, and I want you to brainstorm what opposite topics you're going to write about. Okay, I've already picked mine, so we're going to keep moving. Once you've picked yours, you need to fill in your topic up here. So mine up here is, I'm going to be writing about the beach and the snow. So my 2 opposite topics. I'm going to fill that in. Now, so I'm writing about the beach. So my task today is, because I'm planning for my writing, I'm not writing my poem today, I'm going to be writing it tomorrow. But we know that nouns and adjectives and verbs, or actually they should all have S's on the ends. They should all be plurals. I should have fixed that up. So I need to now brainstorm all of the nouns, adjectives and verbs that I can think of about the beach. As many as I can, because that's going to make my writing much easier. So I've got my nouns: towel, snorkel, bathers, shell, bucket, wave, sand, umbrella, bodyboard, sunscreen, hat. So I've got my nouns, all the names of things that I would see if I was at the beach, or I might take with me. Then I've also got my adjectives, words that describe those nouns: sweltering, golden, sandy, pebbly, sunny, magnificent, pleasant. And I also need to brainstorm as many different verbs, so doing words that I can think of. Now, this is where our spelling comes into it, because one of the rules of a diamante is it has to be a verb where it is in the ing. It has the ing suffix on the end. They are the verbs. That is the way we are writing the verbs in the Diamante poems. So you need to think about what you know from spelling when you're adding the suffix ing. You need to think about whether you need to have a double consonant on the end, or if you might need to drop the E. So the things that Mr. Field is talking about in spelling, you need to make sure that you are bringing those things and those skills with you across to writing. So that was mine for beach. I also did it for the snow. Now I'm taking up lots of your time here. This is a really long video. Snowboard. Oh, globes. That is a mistake. That should say gloves. So I need to go and fix that up. Ski jacket, beanie, neck warmer. There's chairlifts at the snow. Toboggan. Adjectives, so words to describe the snow: cool, frosty, snowy, white. And verbs, I feel silly now that I don't have the S on there, but ing is the suffix we must use. So shivering, snowboarding, sliding, jumping. Now remembering to think about Mr. Field's rules that he's been teaching you. When we add the suffix ing, do I need to drop the E when I add ing, or do I need to make it a double consonant, remembering your spelling rules that you are learning? So here is my checklist for today, your checklist for today. To watch today's literacy video with Ms Harkins, print off today's worksheet or copy it neatly into a workbook neatly in your neatest handwriting, or your teacher will be asking you to do it again. Choose an idea for your poem about two opposite topics. So we're looking at opposites: summer, winter, day, night. Fill in the sheet. So you need to fill in those sheets. Now here, listening very carefully, you need to find 10 adjectives, verbs, and nouns for both of your opposite topics. So for both topics. So for snow and for beach, I would have to find 10 adjectives, verbs, and nouns. You need to reread and fix any of your spelling mistakes, which I'm going to do on a few things on this video. Your work is neatly presented. Double check that you have completed all the tasks to the best of your ability. And our extra task today is reading a good fit book on Epic or a real book for 20 minutes. Okay, good luck, guys.